Country Fellow Speaks here. Today I'm going to be showing why it's so important to make sure you put these shells in these artillery shells in your mortars the correct way. They're usually made to be held by the fuse or a string attached to them and then just drop in the tube. But later today I'm going to show what happens when you put these in upside down. Again, no matter what kind of shape, usually it's like this. It's probably better to look and see if you can see where it says up or top. So I'm going to test this grand jury upside down in the grand jury tube, and an HDPE tube, one of these stacked decks upside down in its tube, and one of these small ball shell happy face upside down in the tube. Country Fellow Speaks here. I shot some artillery shells upside down yesterday or last night. I had some poor video quality because of the drizzling rain that was going on, but you can see the aftermath here. So I want to go through what happened with each one of these when I shot the artillery shells upside down, which nobody should do. But a friend had saw my previous video and was like, I'm going to do that just to see what happens. Well, I did it for you to show that you don't need to do it. First, this stacked deck series here, when it went off, here's what happened. It blew the center bottom out of this, and it blew through the base, and it actually made a hole into the ground. And I was using this board for a flat surface on the grass, and you can see it actually shot through this board. So when this thing went through, instead of going up in the air, it went straight down and blew the cork out the bottom, blew through the base, blew through this board, and blew into the ground, made a hole, and exploded a hole that was a couple of inches wide, which was just crazy. I also shot one of these happy face shells, and this one in a crazy million chance, I guess. I've had the shell in here upside down, but when it went off, it bounced out. It somehow bounced out and blew up in the sky about 3 or 4 feet, which was nowhere near as high as it's supposed to go, and it just made a happy face. So no chaos here with the happy face. And then I did a 5-inch grand jury, and I shot it off in this HDPE tube, which is not supposed to explode. These come from Pyro Boom, best I've found. And you'll notice that it blew the cork out of the bottom, shredded this thing, and melted it. And I had this thing standing up in this stand that I built so that it wouldn't tip over. And you'll see it was wedged between these two boards here. And you can see it actually, just like dynamite, destroyed these boards. Like this side blew it into 3 pieces. This side blew it into 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess you say 5 pieces, not counting what I haven't found. So I mean, this was a 5-inch grand jury shell, so please make sure you don't put those things in upside down, because these things aren't even made to, or these things are made to expand, not explode. And you can see how this thing melted and exploded, and see how this thing exploded. Also, I put one of the grand juries in one of the canisters that they come in, and I want to show you what's remaining of it. So here's the canister itself, and you'll notice it where the explosion happened. It blew it to pieces, blew it off its base. All this fiberglass was sticking up in the ground in various angles, sticking up in the tree. 30 feet away from the explosion, had this fiberglass just sticking in the ground in various places. So I'm glad I was hiding behind a brick wall when I shot that video, so that this stuff didn't projectile into me. This is the base for this 5-inch grand jury, and I don't think I can even start to put this thing back together the way it's supposed to go. I mean, you can just tell it utterly destroyed that thing. I thought that was, I mean, that's just crazy. So again, you guys, when you're shooting off artillery shells, make sure you put them in their correct way, which is usually just holding the fuse and letting it dangle, and just let it slide straight down into the fuse. If you're not sure, usually they have something written like up or top or something on the artillery shells. Make sure you put them in there the right way. Don't be crazy or stupid and put them in upside down, because you'll have projectiles going towards your spectators or yourself. Really don't want that to happen. I blew a hole in my ground, and you may not get lucky like I was with this happy face. Also, you can tell where I shot the grand jury at because it blew the bottom out of this board. You can see that huge hole. All right, thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Again, the last night's video of the explosions are pretty bad. Sorry about that, but just wanted to show you the aftermath. Firing artillery shell wild card upside down. Firing 5-inch grand jury shell upside down. Firing 5-inch grand jury shell upside down. All right, have a great day. God bless. Like and subscribe.